And welcome on back, y'all, to another Pokemon Pocket update video. And over here, it is actually insane to think about that the next set is potentially leaked. Now, again, I say potentially, this is speculative, we don't know, but these images are floating everywhere right now. And so if you haven't gotten a chance to look at them yet, I want to say, like, here you go. If this is correct, then we kind of have another account to follow to see if we can get any more drops and such. But we are going to look at this and just kind of go over every card and just give you an honest reaction. So I'm excited to dive in. And as always, y'all, if you like the content, if you like staying on top of things, hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell button so that you do not miss out on a thing. So let's talk about the cards. Cresselia has an EX, y'all, and this seems like it's a promo card, hence like the little stamp, so we won't be getting this immediately when the set drops if this is true, but we will be able to get it with like the drop events and things like that. So like, let's be on the lookout for that. But ability: whenever you attach a psychic energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, heal 20 damage for this Pokemon. Now, this is going to be interesting because I'm curious if this works with Gardevoir, because you're essentially putting an energy from there. But I wonder, yeah, I think that makes sense, that like Gardevoir will be able to give it free healing, which would be insane. Like 80 damage, 30 you get 80 damage for 3 energy, which like can come for free because you have your Gardevoir, and then you're putting up 2 energies at a time to get 40 healing potentially. Oh, wow. That is awesome. It is an EX mon, so when it finally does go down, you lose out. And so like, I'm really hoping that like our dark types are here and are coming to this set have an answer to this, because this feels like an insane wall to have. Let's continue to look at EX mons. We got Glade here that evolves from Kirlia, is Energized Blade, so it's a 70 plus damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is crazy because we have Pidgeot EX that does 80 and like has this effect, but you need 3 energy for it. But now that we have Dialga, I guess that's okay. But this now, you only need 2 fighting energy plus the 20, and then you can stack the Lucario, which is the ability coach, to add plus 20 on top of this already. So this is at minimum 90 damage. If you can get your pieces in line, that's strong. That's strong. And look at its HP, y'all. The HPs are now starting to creep up there. 170 is pretty bulky, and like, that's really exciting because the fighting types don't really have like a big bulky mon like that, and that's sweet. And I was just saying that like, we need some dark type love here, and this Weavile EX is just a stage 1, so you can get it online very quickly. Scratching Nails 30. If your opponent active Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 40 more damage. Oh, the combos are insane. You can throw this with Greninja, you can throw this with Weezing, you can throw this with really anyone. And you get the 70 kind of quickly. This is kind of nice. And then going against psychic types, you're dealing essentially 90. Maybe there are Poke Tools later on, so maybe those will help out with us as well. This is pretty sweet, and I really like the fact that they're keeping it as like a quick mon, because it is quick to be online and it's quick to retreat. So I like the fact that they kept like a speedy attacker for Weavile for this. And the art is insane, like, come at me, bro. And the EX love keeps coming. And again, I really hope that these are true, because I'm already getting so excited as to like what we can do with these cards. So if we take a look at Infernape EX here, Flare Blitz 140, discard all energy from this Pokemon. Now this is like the new Magmar that we got, and everybody was like, oh, that's so sad, like you can't do that. And like, now we have it on Infernape EX, and I wonder if people are gonna give love to Magmar with respect on that ability. But I will say, going from 80 to 140 damage is insane, whereas like your Magmar is just a basic Pokemon, so you can put that online pretty quickly. But this, you got stage 2, you got to find it, but 140 for 2 energy is nice. Like, honestly, I think what you play here is like, it says discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. You don't stack it up. So like, it's not like discard 2 energy or discard like, you know, a certain amount. It says all of them. So don't stack it up. Keep the energy to 2. It has a free retreat cost. So like Moltres and Infernape EX, Moltres up front, ramp up, get the Infernape out there, go back, ramp up, get it out there. So like, if your opponent is not dealing with Moltres EX, it's kind of a problem. This is nice. This is real nice. We saw the Gallade before, but this is like the full art version of it. They're really keeping that like the tones of the colors. I really like it. It looks cool. I think I'm curious if I like the EX version. But it's a 2-star. I like it. I like it a lot. I like this. This is clean. And here's a Weavile's version as well. It still has that like smug look. Oh, I love this one. I love this one for sure. Out of the 2, I definitely picked this one. It's just kind of like standing there like, hey, what you doing? Come here. No, that's nice. And it says scratching nails, and like it shows the claws right there. It's a nice little touch. So let's talk about some full evolution lines that we also got from this leak that is potential to come. We are seeing Togepi, Togetic, and therefore Togekiss. As a reminder, Cynthia allows you to do plus 50 with your Togekiss now, or your Garchomp, but just remember that Togekiss is a stage 2, and I really want stage 2s to be great if there are ways to make them more consistent, but either way, this is really nice. We're seeing very low to the ground when it comes to energy costs. So Togepi is not a Babymon, which is interesting, because they could have used this as a way to introduce Babymons, but they're sticking to the basic. For 1 energy, you're dealing 20. With Togetic, for 1 energy, you're dealing 40. And so like, this is a mon that like doesn't mind going first because of the energy cost to attack, which is lovely. So Togepi, Togetic goes up, you attack for 40 for your first turn. If you have it in hand and now you're dealing with 80, that's pretty good. But now you're gonna have to deal with this Togekiss. It's awesome. During your next turn, this Pokemon's Overdrive Smash does plus 60 damage. Now, so you have 60 plus 50 is 110, right? I had said like, in order for these to feel good, you needed like 80. And then you could do 130, and like that feels like kind of in line with having that, and then 80 still feels good if you don't draw your Cynthia, but 60 and then plus 60 seems insane. So if you're able to keep these things alive for 2 energy, you can do upwards to 170 damage. And now there are Pokemon who are up there who actually kind of really need a lot of that if you're looking to get like these 1-hit KOs out the way. But this is taking out the likes of Mewtwo. Gyarados is like left with 10. And so like, this feels pretty good into the cards that we have right now, and then into the cards that we're potentially getting. This is really kind of nice, but you do have to survive the next turn in order to get that 120, and you need to have the Cynthia in your hand in order to like get that big knockout win. Another line that we are getting is a Porygon. We got the Porygon 2 here. So the Porygon from this set is attacks for 1 energy for 20 and HP is 60. And then we get the Porygon 2, 80, sharpen for 30. What I really like about this is that you can evolve from Genetic Apex, which means that data scan ability in which we're like, hey, can we make stage 2 Pokemon more consistent? Here's a Pokemon that now allows you to look at the top of your card that you can now play in. Like, I don't know if I'm going to use this one because of that ability on the other Porygon. Then we evolve when we have our cards ready into this guy right here, into Porygon Z. That's right, 140 HP is crazy. So this is 3 energy, but you have the likes of Dialga to help ramp up this ability here. For 3 energy, Buggy Beam does 80. Change the type of the next energy that will be generated for your opponent to one of the following at random: Leaf, Fire, Water, Electric, Psychic, Fighting, Dark, or Steel. That I think is all of the energies that we have right now. And so you'll get one of those your next turn. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 in 8 chance, which is like 12.5%, doing the math off of my head. So if I'm wrong, please let me know. Yeah, like what? You have the ability to brick your opponent, which is wild. Obviously this is a stage 2 Pokemon, so you kind of have to like get this set up pretty early to have that massive impact. But even then, people are looking to still build their Pokemon. And if you're keeping this Porygon Z up front and you're attacking every single turn, they have to deal with this Porygon Z with what they have right now in order to stop you from like being able to brick them. So I really like this a lot. I think that's very interesting in ways that this is our first time where we get to interact with the opponent's energy zone, and we haven't been able to do that before. So this is really cool, and I kind of like to see how this plays out. Our Garchomp line, and we were like thinking about whether it was going to be a water and fighting type. It's really cool to see that they followed along with what's going on with the TCG standard, and it didn't vary too much of it in terms of what the typing is looking like. They did keep it a dragon typing, but with the required energies, which is really cool as well to see that too. So this is really nice. The Gibble is 1 energy for Gnaw, and then Goodbye here, your water and your fighting energy, which is great here. What's really nice with the Gibble is that it is colorless, so that means you can, if you have the water or the fighting edge, you're able to attack right away. The Gabite for stage 1, 90 for 60 is pretty strong, but you do need 2 different colors already to attack for it. Now here's the big guy. Once you get your Gabite online, you just really need your Garchomp in order to do that. 2 energy for 100 damage is awesome. One of the reasons why we love Aerodactyl EX, because you get 80 for 2, right? Like that feels consistent and that feels strong, and being able to deal 100 for 2 energy. Now mind you, you have to find your colors first and being able to do that. But water and fighting overall leads to itself to being a very good dual energy type of deck, as we've seen from Mythical Island. So Garchomp can slot in there pretty nicely. This ability is pretty cool. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. So you already have your stage 2 online. So this may mean that, like, hey, if you're like looking to set up another Garchomp on the line, if you're looking to find, let's say, your Greninjas, like you can give up a card that is like not necessarily going to help you out in the long run in order to get this. So reckless sharing is pretty, I like the name of it, because it is like, hey, you're giving up a card, a potential resource. You obviously are using all of your cards in, or you want to, right? Like it's 20 cards in a deck, but this being in there means that you could find your pieces much quicker. So I just don't want to be in my hand and be like, I need all of these, so I can't use this ability. But I think if you're looking for things specifically, this is a pretty cool way to search through your deck. And now we see our baby Riolu, but again, they're going with the basic versions, calling them babies. For 1 energy, you're dealing 20, the HP is 60. That's really nice. You do go down to psychic types with the 50, so like Mewtwo can hurt you here, but overall having that 60 HP for 20 tends to mean that you get to live a lot of things. So I really do like the higher HP when it comes to these basic mons. Insert your Lucario. We only got to see like the full art version of it. Here's what the basic 3 diamond normal version looks like. The ability Fighting Coach, do plus 22 opponents active, and then for 2 energy you're dealing 40, but essentially 60 because of your ability, which is really nice. This is not, I'm not gonna say it's a staple for all fighting decks, but however, if you can fit a Lucario into your fighting deck, you are gonna do much more damage, and being able to do that consistently feels really nice for your deck. The evolution lines don't stop, which is oh awesome. And so we have a Ralt and a Kirlia, which are both colorless, which plays to your Glade here, right? You have both of your evolutionary lines, and the fact that these are psychics that can be put into your fighting decks, and so you can potentially attack your mirror matches essentially and have like a little leg up here, because Kirlia will deal 40 to them for 1 energy, and then you transform on top of that, or evolve, excuse me, to your Glade or your Glade EX, and then being able to attack and do massive damage from there. I really like the flavor touch here of adding these 2 in to make Glade viable on its own, and not necessarily trying to figure out like, hey, my Ralts and my Kirlia can't attack. So having them be colorless is a nice flavor touch while keeping their psychic typing, and then they get their fighting, their secondary typing with Glade. I think to note here too is that they could have made Glade a psychic type, but the fact that they're playing around with the different typings is really interesting, and I like that they do that, and I want to see more of the secondary typings be their kind of like primary typings for Pokemon Pocket. So Magnemite and Magneton here. Magnemite is getting some new artwork. I'm like, okay, sure. Like you get the RAM, you get the 60 here, and I guess the new artwork. I just feel like we got like a new promo for it. So like Magnemite was not on like my bingo card of like getting another card or another artwork here, but it's here. Magneton is just kind of the same piece because they built up to this card right here, your Magnezone. So this is pretty cool. It actually has it needs less energy than Magneton to attack, which is like really funny because the Magneton ability is to be able to pull energy from the energy zone to attach to it. But here I think maybe then, like while you're finding Magnezone pieces, you can just build up as much as you can for the ability, because you have to discard one energy from this Pokemon, one lightning energy from this Pokemon in order to use this attack. So I think it's not bad to set this up with 4 or 5 and then just kind of blast away, doing 110, 120 with Giovanni each turn. And like that is a pretty good breakpoint to have as a stage 2 Pokemon. So those were like we're just gonna take a little pause here and just to remind you, comment down below. Let me know what's your favorite EX mon that's been revealed so far in this potential league, and what's your favorite evolutionary line that has been revealed so far. I think just like even my thought points here, there's no EXs for Garchomp and Togekiss, but like they're already pretty strong, so that makes sense. But if I had to pick, I like the Garchomp line, and I am looking forward to the Infernape. No, actually, I'm looking forward to the Weavile. I'm actually looking forward to the Weavile. Give some Dark some love. So let's move into our basics, our standalones that we have so far. Manaphy is gonna go crazy for the water typing. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, take 1 energy from your energy zone and attach it to that Pokemon. Manaphy, Vaporeon, Blastoise, Gyarados, so like Palkia EX. So like you have your big hitters, and like even things like Kingler, like things that just required so much more energy to get online. Manaphy being able to just hey, here's a start with Misty, gets your water Pokemon up faster, and now water can feel a little bit more consistent, which is scary because water is pretty strong. I'm actually really excited to try this out with Blastoise, but also we want to kind of see what they are going to give us with Empoleon. Infernape EX went crazy. What does Empoleon EX look like? I don't know. I can't wait to rip open these packs and dig into it. Yes, that's right. I'm laughing because we can't get away from this card. Eevee is here, and I just wonder if it's going to be a meme at this point in which there's an Eevee with every new set, and like how many more times can you make this card? But I think I like this a little bit more than the I don't know. Mythical Island Eevee can knock out a Charizard EX. If you're lucky, it could. But here you can get to 10 or you can do 30 damage. So like, I don't know. We'll see how we continue to play this out. But yes, y'all, it's another Eevee. So we have Dark right here, 110 HP, basic for 3 energy. Dark Void 60, your opponent active Pokemon is now asleep. Now this is going to be an interesting card here because it does require two dark energies in order to be online. However, when you have cards like Weezing that are not hungry for energy, now that we have the Weavile EX that is not hungry for energy, Dark Void can now come into more play because you have a mon that can take up all where the extra energy is going to go. So like, I'm not upset about this 3 cost energy when we have viable options in the dark typings now. However, I wonder, question mark, again, things are not all revealed, like, right, like there's still more to discover with these cards. I wonder if we still get a Darkrai EX. Cresselia was just there, and then from the trailer, and then with these leaks, we're seeing that we're getting a Cresselia EX as well. So like Darkrai EX not having an EX, like Darkrai not having an EX, I feel like would be a big miss here. So I'm continuing to wait on that, but I do like this, especially in the dark typing where you do have mons that don't require a lot of energy to still hit hard. We got to see another second type, Drifloon. This is just 50 expand during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes minus 20 damage from attacks, so it kind of makes up for the fact that it has an HP. So you might as well, like, if you're able to attack first, so if you're going second, it's able to live, so essentially boosts up its HP to 70 because of that minus 20 from damage attacks, and I like that. I like the fact that, like, yeah, you're 50, yeah, you're a little balloon, but we're giving you a chance to survive out here in the world, so that way nobody pops you right away. So let me know, y'all, what is your favorite basic card that we've seen so far? I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with the Darkrai, actually. Putting people to sleep automatically, and like, I don't have to flip a coin, they have to flip a coin, is going to be so annoying. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Let me know what y'all are thinking for your favorite basic Pokemon. And now we're dealing into the full art. So obviously these are going to be your basic mons as well too, but like, let's talk about the full arts and like the illustrations that are here, and then kind of the effects for the cards at the same time as well. Bidoof is real, and Super Fang have your opponent's active Pokemon remaining HP rounded down, and this is a Super Fang is a move in the game which does this exact thing, which is really cool. So for 2 energy, which could like slot in anywhere, you could take things like those Palkias, those Gyarados, the Galady EX and the Infernape with 170 HP, and wind those down to 80 because they can keep their HP to 60s, and so 170 paired down is 85, and so they're gonna round that down to 80. And now you're dealing with AX monster where like their HP that they thought was great, it's not there anymore, and if they take you out, that's 1 point. You go back on their backswing when you're ready to, that's 2 points. So this could be pretty damaging to a lot of those high HP mons that we're seeing. Then we have Rotom here, which is electric typing, but we're getting more colorless energy here. All the Rotoms are in this art, which is like pretty cool to see them like around in their like natural habitat doing housework, which is hilarious. Mowing the grass, the refrigerator, blowing the leaves, that's hilarious. So this does, if your opponent's active Pokemon has a Pokemon to attach, this attack does 30 more damage. I like that a lot. I like the fact that we can interact with the Pokemon tools. We have Pachirisu EX, which gains attack power, and if it has it attached, then Rotom is now completely played as a defensive typing, in which you're going to be able to do 50 damage to that Pokemon which has it. Staraptor Clutch 80. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat, and this is like the king of the pride, or the king of the flock, right? The leader of the flock, and you just see the Starlies and the Staravias in the background, which is clean. And 3 energy may sound like a lot as you're looking for it, but because we already talked about how Dialga EX can ramp up all of our colorless energies from Mythical Island and from Genetic Apex, why can't it do the same here? Attach 2 energy to this thing, now you're up, now folks can't run out, and then now you're able to build up whatever you need to build up with steel in the background while they're dealing with this, because 140 HP ain't no joke. And I don't know about y'all, but this just might be my favorite full art here. Hands down, Piplup is leading the picnic. We knew from before that it is Nap for its attack, which is able to heal 20 damage from this Pokemon. But look at its plant. It has the Chimchar, it has a Turtwig, it has the Driftbloom, it even has the little Baneri in the background. It's kind of like, hey, invite me to the gang. So this is really beautiful. And let me know, y'all, what's your favorite full art so far? I definitely, you know, if you say Staraptor, if you say Rotom, if you say Bidoof, those are all great, but nothing touches a candle to the king, which is Pip. All right, so on to our supporters that we have that are like, I can't keep talking, there's just so many. We have Cynthia during this turn, we saw that, but here is just kind of like the normal card that looks like. What's been really cool about all these supporters is that their backgrounds are from like in-game references. So I'm gonna have to like figure out like what part of the game is this from. If you already know off the top of your head, let me know, but that's really cool. And then just so y'all can see it once more, here's the full art version of it here. But the supporters don't stop. We have Cyrus here switching one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage onto his active spot. Cyrus, I feel like people are gonna say Sabrina is gone, but there are just so many different times where you like, if you're not running Greninja or you're not running Hitmonlee or your opponent hasn't retreated yet, Cyrus is a dud in your hand. You have to do damage to your opponent's Pokemon. They have to retreat it, and then you can use Cyrus to bring it back, unless you're running. But this is a perfect card for the ones I just mentioned. So Sabrina does have an opportunity to still live and coincide with Cyrus. You can now, instead of running 2 Sabrinas, you can run 1 and 1, but I don't think that Sabrina's over, but I really do like the targeted, semi-targeted effects here of Cyrus because the opponent still gets to choose, I believe. From there, so it says switch in one of your opponent's bench. So like if there's 2 that's hurt, then like it doesn't say that you get to pick it. So we'll see how that plays out. Volkner is here, the electric gym leader. Choose one of your Electivire or Luxray, attach 2 energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon. We have a card that interacts with the discard pile, and then I'm like trying to figure out how does energy get to the discard pile, and that must mean from a knockout. So like you're trying to recycle that energy back into play here. So maybe we're playing this with a lot more basic Pokemons or like little walls here and there that does that, because you can now focus your energy on whatever your front line is and then let your Electivire clean up or Luxray clean up with the Volkner in place. So what's your favorite trainer that's been introduced? I think I want to say Volkner because I like cards that play around with Pokemon, because then it gives them an extra support here. But I like the idea of Cyrus being able to compare with other Pokemon, really dealing with the bench, having cards that like attack the bench and then bringing them forward. I think that's a really clean finish. Now we get to see the Pokemon tools. There are 3 here, and just remember that once you attach a Pokemon tool to one of your Pokemon, it can't get taken out, and you can't double stack Pokemon tools to them either. But giant key, the Pokemon this card is attached to gets 20 HP. Your tanks that you're looking at, they just got tankier. That's really sweet. Lumberry here, which we talked about before on the channel, but this is really cool. At the end of each turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is affected by any special conditions, it recovers from all of them and discard this card. So sleep, poison, paralysis don't take effect with the Lumberry, and so we'll kind of have to see like how the meta goes to see if this will be as useful. But this is like really nice. Those conditions can really make or break your game, and so being able to clear it is awesome. And then Rocky Helmet, oh no! If this Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 20 damage to attacking Pokemon. Trud doing -40, Polygraph doing -40. You can like maybe Snorlax is now not a bad card because it's no longer just like 150 HP. You attack. Oh my goodness, these walls now have a Judgedon ability, and that makes my head hurt. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And so like you already know what I'm about to ask. I think this one's my favorite one. Let me know down in the comment section what yours is. So we're back to where we started because we just went through so many Pokemon cards. I'm excited. There are definitely more things to cover. I just want you all let's talk through these cards. Let me know what's your favorite in the comment section down below, and then continue to keep your eyes posted on this channel because we're going to try and talk about more and more of these as they come along, so that way you are fully prepared for these packs to come. I'm excited, y'all. I hope y'all are too. If you liked the content, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and click that notification bell button so that you do not miss out on a thing. So next time, y'all, peace.